Call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Board of Commissioners meeting. I want to remind the public or the audience that this meeting is a public meeting. It's being recorded both audio and visually. And do we have any awards recognitions?
I don't have any.
I didn't have any. Okay. Do we have any minutes? Acknowledgment of minutes?
January 2nd.
It's a January 2nd meeting? Oh, yeah, right there.
I move approval.
Okay, and I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any additions to the agenda?
None?
No.
Okay. And now is the time for public input and recognition of visitors if you're not for anything that's not on the agenda. Okay, first item on the agenda is the Irwin Road transfer.
Good morning, Matt Kenny, Umatilla County Public Works Survey Supervisor. So the county's been in discussions recently with the City of Stanfield and ODOT regarding Irwin Road. The road has recently been incorporated into the City of Stanfield city limits, so it's inside the city limits. The city is looking at doing some development on the east side of 395 where they would like to realign Irwin Road to conform to a four-way intersection with Stanfield Avenue on the west. So the goal between the city, the county, and ODOT was to transfer this road to the city for their development purposes. So the county is totally on board with this. The city's requested the transfer via a letter. Apparently the council's on board. And so at this point, if we go ahead and move forward with this, then it'll, for all practical reasons, be transferred today.
Okay.
We've talked about this enough. We move forward with this.
Okay, and I'll second
It's order number RD 2020-02.
Okay, and second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Airport Road issuance of bids.
Okay, I guess this is coming before the board for official approval to go out for an invitation to bid for the improvements, the planned improvements to Airport Road and Ott Road. And then this is just a formal one. Then once the bids have been received, then it'll come back for a formal award.
Okay.
Tom's in the building, but
He's on a phone call, I think, at the moment.
how about if we hold this? I'd like to hold it till he's back in.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Is he coming back in today here? Somebody say that?
I think so. Oh, there he
There he
comes.
is.
There he is.
We've been waiting for you. Airport Road issuance of bids is where we're at.
What would you like to know?
We just didn't want to do it without you.
So you're just, okay.
Yeah.
Tom Fellows, Public Works Director. So what this is we're ready to proceed and move forward with the bids. The plan is the bids will go out. They'll come in. We'll accept the low bid, and the notice to proceed should go out the first part of March for the construction to be completed before the fair.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we are at this point.
Good.
So we just need the board's blessing to continue to move forward. And
Are you optimistic that the money we got for the project will be appropriate enough?
I'm optimistic that it's going to do Airport Road. We're probably not going to see much, if anything, done on Ott Road, but it should do Airport Road pretty satisfactorily. We will be able to add a little bit of money into that program from the bicycle path fund because of the path that we are putting along there does qualify for use of that money. So my plan is to put a little bit more money in it, not a terrible amount. I don't have an actual estimate on what that will be at this point, but we have plenty of money in the bicycle path fund to do that. So
Good. Well, I move we proceed.
Okay, and I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And Clark Road.
Matt Kinney, Umatilla County Public Works Surveyor. So we recently received a petition from landowners to vacate a portion of Clark Road. It's known as County Road number 634. This little piece of road is located just west of Tollgate. It's near the Lincoln Mountain Highlands subdivision, for those of you who know where that is. It's just west. It comes off of 204 and heads westerly and then dead ends at the subdivision. It's about 950 feet in length. The road itself isn't a developed road. It's not a maintained road. It's not signed.
It's like a little dirt road, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little dirt trail that kind of winds back into the timber. Right now, there's only there's two adjoining owners on the south side of the road. One of the owners has over 90% of the frontage of the road, and they're the ones that are requesting to vacate. At this point, it's not a county maintained road, and we don't ever foresee it being one. So we would move to proceed with the vacation. That it's in the best interest of the public, and just need to set the hearing for that. Like I said, there's two adjoining owners. We've only got one signature, so it is going to require a hearing. If we had 100% signatures, we could get away without having the hearing. So,
Did they just not want to sign it, or they just weren't able to get their signature?
I don't know that they honestly tried to get their neighbors' signatures. I think with the knowledge that they had 90% of the frontage, that would at least get them moved, get the process moving forward. I think they were happy with that. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
I move for adoption of order number RD 2020-03.
And I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Solid Waste Committee appointments.
Good morning, Commissioners. Gina Miller with Umatilla County Planning Department and Staff Liaison to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. I'm pleased to introduce Mike McHenry, who is our current chair of the committee, with us today.
Good morning, Mr. McHenry. How are you?
We have before you a reappointment for two of our committee members, David Foe and Arnie Swanson. They've been serving faithfully for the last 3 years and have willingly signed up to do another term. And we would just like to have you adopt their reappointment today.
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here, by the way.
I was the one that found Arnie. I'm glad he worked out.
Okay, Mr. Walder, I think you're up.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Walder, County Planning Director. I'm here with Stacy Kuntz, who is our County Transit Coordinator. And the Planning Department and Finance Departments are seeking Board of Commissioners approval to contract with Eastern Oregon Business Source to initiate an update to our Coordinated Human Services Plan. This plan was last updated in 2016, and the state requires an update every 3 years with a full revised plan every 5 years. As you know, EOBS currently serves as the project manager for this project, along with Stacy, who's our coordinator, through a separate contract that we have with that they have with the county. And so, if approved, this plan update would be funded using remaining statewide transportation improvement fund dollars that went unspent in 2019. Stacy's coordinated with ODOT to confirm that the remaining fiscal year 2019 STIF dollars can be used. That's permissible by ODOT. I'd just like to add that this update's actually pretty timely. Traditionally, the update has occurred under Robert. Robert's kind of been the project manager and overseer of that because the STF program was run out of his department until we brought Stacy on. But it is timely because, as you know, the state has now consolidated the STIF with the STF fund, the Special Transportation Fund. And for a project to be included and to receive grant dollars, it has to be included in some sort of transit planning document, like the coordinated plan. Traditionally, this plan covered senior and disabled transportation. But with this update, we hope to be able to include several other groups that are important to Umatilla County, such as our workforce transit needs, transportation of college students, as well as homeless and low income. So those are some of the other areas that we'd hope to look at with this update with EOBS. Stacy, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Stacy Coons, EOBS. I just want to say that I think it's a great opportunity for a local company to do this update. I think we'll be able to focus a little bit more on our needs in Umatilla County and be able to list those in the plan and hopefully get them some assistance, transit assistance. So that's about all I have to say.
All right, thank you.
I move for adoption.
Second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much, you guys. Appreciate it. Okay. Justice Center roof replacement.
Good morning. Mark Tanner, Umatilla County Facilities. This is the bids for the Justice Center roof. We would like to move forward with accepting Palmer's bid and get on their schedule so that we can get that accomplished before the rainy season starts again.
Okay. Any questions on that? I think we've pretty well vetted this
No,
one
I'm
out.
happy it's Palmer's.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see it's Palmer's too.
I move accordingly.
Okay, second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners. Dan Lanai with Administrative Services. The next one up before you is the access control system that we currently have, which is quite old, and it controls our three main buildings, the Courthouse, jail, and Stafford Hansel. When I say jail, it controls the administrative portion, not the jail, so the sheriff upstairs portion there. It runs on an outdated system that's no longer supported since 2014. We're having trouble trying to get, we can't replace it as it's breaking and stuff too. But the items that's all connected throughout the system, all the access points though, are usable, and we've been working with Unitech that they can actually reuse all that equipment and replace the brains of the system. And then at the same time add our extra access points, mainly for this building, because we did a lot with the Sheriff's Office and Stafford Hansel since they're newer buildings there. But here we have a lot of doors that don't have access, controlled access, the fobs basically. And what that does for us is our maintenance department has to provide keys all the time, and people lose the keys, and it creates a security risk. So our intent is try to reduce the number of employees that actually have keys to our buildings. That way, when somebody leaves, if they're a disgruntled employee or there's other issues, half the time we don't get the keys back. But if we don't get the fob back, that's okay because we turn it off immediately. We have a setup that as soon as we know somebody has left employment, we at Admin Services turn off all their logins and their fobs, but we don't always get the key. And if there is a issue, we have to rekey a building, and sometimes that can be very complicated. And we're trying to reduce, that takes a lot of time on our side and expense that we could be using for other things. So the bid is about, the quote that we have is we're just under $100,000, $99,850. And we're sole sourcing it so we could utilize all the stuff that we already have in there and that not have to go out and replace those things.
Will we have to get new key fobs, or will the current
The
fobs
new,
work?
your existing key fob should work. Some people, I mean, it's supposed to work. But we're looking at trying to move with the new system so we can move to using your ID as your key fob too, so that we could start doing some different things later down the line. Opens up a lot of doors for us, but yes, they'll work for now.
I learned how to use my key fob. I don't want to have to relearn anything.
No, we don't want that to happen to you.
Nope, not gonna say it. Okay, so when would this start, once this happens?
Well, we will need to contact, well, we're trying to do it within this budget year, so now, between now and June.
Okay.
But I need to see when it can be scheduled with Unitech. Part of the deal to reduce the costs, we made an agreement because the new doors we have to add, we have to actually cut out the locks and put new locks into them, not the door lock, but the hasp, or the latch portion on the jamb there. And our maintenance department will be doing that for us. So we have to coordinate that, and since that's a noisy item, we have to try to do that when it's not interfering with
Tuesdays would be a bad day for that.
that. So,
I had talked to our CFO to get approval to go ahead with this, but I don't know that we discussed budget year. Is it okay to go ahead?
No.
Okay.
Robert and I have talked about when, and I don't know yet because that same question came up. So once this is done, I'll coordinate with Unitech and see when that actually will happen, because I suppose the timing of this makes some difference on what we're trying to do.
Okay.
I'll defer the timing to Robert.
Okay, and we're working on that. I was going to get back to him on when we can have this scheduled.
Okay. I move we adopt BCC 2020-007.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you,
Is the
Commissioners.
next one yours too?
Yes, so we went and moved to basically a phone system for the entire county, upgraded it a few years ago, and now IT can do a lot of the programming. Every time when we replace an employee, we'd have to call in Unitech to change the phone system down and stuff, and so now IT is able to do that. The only problem is we have a few stragglers that were still out there. A&D, Pellenton office, we already moved the Hermiston office over. The CDDP and Juvenile, that building was not, they still have their old phone system there. And the other one would be Community Corrections, but they actually go through the state of Department of Corrections to do a lot of their work, so that's down the line yet. But the only one after we move all these three over, Juvenile, A&D, and CDP, Corrections would be the only one that's left, Community Corrections. Bringing them into the system basically is just putting in phones that work with our current system, and everybody, CDDP already has those phones. It's just Juvenile and A&D do not, and then they'll be connected with everything where we share cost. When we do that share cost, it should reduce the actual amount that the county is paying out by around $400 a month in phone bills that those three departments are using. And then part of that money would come back, about $250 or so, as a charge back for them to have phones to the phone system, which helps pay for our main phone system. And then that money's put into a fund for repairs and stuff if we have issues down the line.
They're still paying for it, though.
Yes, they would be paying, instead of their, altogether, I can't remember the total amount, but they're paying about $600-700 altogether a month between those three departments. And they'll be still, instead of paying around $700, they'll be paying, I think it's about $650. Instead of paying that amount, they'll be paying about, let me back up for a minute. Between those departments, they're paying about $800 in phone cost. We're going to reduce that cost down to about $400, and about $250 of that would actually come to us to help pay for our current existing. So instead of going to somebody else, it's going to be coming to us. But because they have fax lines, each of them, they have to pay about $50 for each of those fax lines. So they'll be continuing to pay about $150 to $200 of regular phone bills because they have to have fax lines. I'm trying to get rid of people with faxes, but it's, that's where our expense sits at right now, is because faxing is an old technology, and they still utilize it for some of the doctor offices that they work with. Hopefully that made sense.
I move for the authorization of BCC 2020-0008.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hospital Authority Board appointments. Is that you?
I guess so. There are two terms on the Hospital Authority Board that have expired. One can no longer serve since she has already served 2 terms. So the recommendation is to appoint Dr. Don Benscoter to the board, and along with reappointing Don Daggett.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And Board Payable. Oh, this is the lobbyist.
What?
This is the lobbyist.
Sorry. Oh, this isn't the
That's you.
budget. I move for approval.
Okay. And I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion carries. East Umatilla County Health District. So I can do this one if you want me to, Doug.
Sure.
The chief over here at this fire district and ambulance district actually came to me and said, hey, we blew a motor and they were needing, for $60,000, if they needed $60,000, they could get a brand new ambulance, which would serve that district. Currently, that district serves 4 of the 12 cities in our county, by the way. It's down to its second out ambulance, which is over 20 years old. And they are asking for, excuse me, they're asking for a loan for $60,000 from the county but pay it back at $10,000 a year and paid back in full at 6 years' time is what they're asking for. So, and it's a loan. It's not a gift or grant. So, and with that, I would make a motion to approve that request.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And that carries. Okay, and where are we at? Grant letter of support. And that was the Pendleton Friends of the Library are applying for a Oregon Community Foundation for a grant, technology grant, and they're just simply asking for a letter of support from the county on that. And I would move approval.
Second.
Okay, moving second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay. Any commissioner reports?
No, I was in Salem for 2 days. AOC has a new executive director, Gina Nickel. We did all the formal actions, and Rob Bovett and I were engaged in negotiating a contract, and she has accepted the terms and conditions, given a letter of acceptance, so she will start March 16th as a new executive director. We're really quite excited about Gina. I think the whole association is excited about having her. I then had an opportunity to go and visit 5 different legislators. They're there for legislative days. I added a couple that don't represent our district, but Christine Drazen, who is the House Minority Leader, I've become acquainted with her and had a chance to check in with her office. And everybody's quite busy down there, although it's an interesting undercurrent. I don't know if it'll ever come to pass, but there are some who aren't sure there'll ever be a session. But we'll see how that comes out. Cap and trade continues to emerge as a very hot button issue, and so I'd like to think there's going to be a session, but we'll see what's going to happen.
All right.
awful lot of feeling that the short session wasn't designed for landmark legislation,
Yeah.
to which I agree.
So, anything else?
No.
All right. I want to thank our maintenance guys for the snow removal. We had a little bit of snow yesterday and the day before, and they're out working on that, getting that taken care of, so I appreciate their efforts on that. Also, just a reminder, that Friday is the Distinguished First Citizens of the Year banquet for Pendleton. Somebody's reign will be coming to a close, I do believe.
Yes.
So, all right, with that.
Pendleton has some distinction in that I drove yesterday afternoon from Salem to Pendleton, and Pendleton has more snow than anywhere else I was.
All right. Well, with that, we are adjourned.